Good evening, good afternoon from around the world. I'm Mahin Amjad. I am founder and president of WomenAscension. We are here with Miss Tessy, and she is our beloved mentor, joined us from Nigeria, but her expertise is not just, you can say, showcase one side of her. She is a very diversified person. So when I talk about Miss Tessie, um, she is phenomenon in mental health and relationship and marriage therapist, psychotherapist, mental health advocate, and master of ceremony, media personality, and podcaster. So when we look into the expertise of Miss Tessie over decades, she is a seasoned broadcast media professional with over a decade of experience. She has mastered the art of engaging audiences through TV presenting, production, event hosting. She has expanded her expertise into mental health space, accumulating for over 100 hours of practice. Her passion for planning and managing events combined with innate communication skills has led her to pursue project management training. So, if we talk about her key expertise, she is into media production and presentation, event planning and hosting, mental health advocacy and practice, project management, podcasting, um, especially related to relationship on Spotify, private counseling sessions, and she lead Masters of Ceremony. So her core values, that is adding color and facilitations, growth in organization, integrity, honesty, family, excellence, and positivity, has upscaled a lot of life, not just around her community, but around the globe as well. And we are really humbled to have her on board with us as a mentor. Previously, she took a session in which the previous batch uplifted their performance, not just in the capacity of output within the organization, but those group of people have changed their way of practices as well. So we are really excited for Miss Tessie for the session and the series that she has started with Women Ascension, and we are eagerly waiting for her to share her expertise so that we excel and learn from her. Thank you, Miss Tessie, for joining us out of your busy schedule. Over to you.
Thank you, Mahin. For a minute I thought you were talking about someone else until I kept hearing my name, and then I was like, oh, that's actually me. You know how the imposter syndrome creeps up on you a lot of times? Well, it does creep up on me a whole lot of times. Yeah. So thank you so much for that introduction. It felt so beautiful to hear you share and say all that you did. I mean, you know how you second guess yourself sometimes and you're like, oh, I don't think I've done this much. I don't think I'm worth all of this. I don't think that this is the kind of person that I am right now, because you don't see yourself. You just see where you're going. You don't know if you're actually at the point where you can be celebrated or you should celebrate yourself, which is part of the things we're going to be discussing today. So this is me confessing that I also sometimes, second guess myself to say, hey, am I good enough for this? Like, who am I? Who am I supposed to be? Should I be here? Should I even be a mentor on Women Ascension? So powerful to actually be here. I feel so grateful, Mayan. Thank you for the opportunity. Not just on the professional level, but also, being acquainted with you, getting to know you, and being friends with you in the long run is, I feel like this relationship is going to go beyond the profession, and we'll probably become sisters. And so I look forward to those days, and it'll be so beautiful. I can't wait. So guys, hi. You've heard my introduction. Don't worry, this is also you. This could also be you. It's not just about me. My name is Tessy. I would like to be addressed as Tessy. However you want to call me, Miss Tessy, Mrs. Tessy, whatever you want to call me is fine. I'm married and I have two kids currently. I have two boys, and I've been married for almost a decade. Just one more year and it'll be 10 years in marriage. And I have an amazing husband who ensures that I am, here, and then I'm doing what I need to do. So let's get into it. So if you're here and you are ready for us to talk about burnout today, I want you to use your favorite emoji on the comment section. I want to see the emojis popping up, the love, the hearts, all your favorite emojis. Just use them, and then I'll know you're here. and then I'll start. Awesome. I see the love eyes. Thank you. Oh, nice, nice. Please pardon me if I murder your name in some point, and also help me correct the names where necessary, okay? Uh, I can see a lot of people. I can see Janet. I can see Samrin. I can see who else? Someone else popped up on the screen again. Please welcome, 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 welcome. I see all the hearts and all the love. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you. Thank you, Laila. Thank you. Okay, so I have seen the emojis, and so we're going to start. Now, we're talking about burnout, okay? Burnout, as the name, says, is burn out. And if you can see your screen right now, you would see an image of a matchstick that is burnt out or is on the way to being burnt out completely, right? So usually, in this part of the world, sometimes we still use matchsticks for our ovens and our cookers and all. I don't know how it is in other countries, but here, whenever you light a matchstick, the matchstick is meant to bring out fire. That fire is the reason why we have the matchstick and the matchbox. The matchbox is just important for housing the matchstick, and the matchstick is just important for housing that particular red substance on top of the stick, right? So if you take that top part of the matchstick away, what remains is the stick. The stick is not as important without the red substance on top of it. So what am I saying? What your ability to do, the fire you're able to bring, is what makes life worth living, is what makes whatever it is you're doing awesome. Now, if we take the matchstick and we light it, at some point, you would not be able to hold the matchstick anymore because it's burning towards your fingers. And so you let go, right? Awesome. Well, I do hope that one day they find, or I find, matchsticks that don't burn out immediately. But until then, we have the regular matchstick. So let's go into it. So what is burnout, right? Now that's our next slide. What's burnout? Burnout is a state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion caused by prolonged stress, overwork, and lack of balance in life. Okay? So we're talking about burnout, and I'm describing burnout now. I'm sure it will pop up on our screen soon. It's the next slide. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying to find my face here. Okay, I sometimes like to look at myself when I'm doing stuff, so I'll just go. Yeah. So what is burnout? I want you, as you listen to this, I want you to, first of all, pick out the words that resonate with you most, okay? I don't want you to feel like, oh, these words are too bogus or anything. I want you to pick out the words that resonate with you. So burnout is a state of emotional, that's one, mental, and physical exhaustion caused by prolonged stress, overwork, and lack of balance in life. It can result in feelings of hopelessness, detachment, and cynicism towards work, life, and others. So now that you have heard and you now understand what burnout is, would you please write in the comment section for me which word resonates more with you? Is it the emotional exhaustion? Is it mental exhaustion? Is it physical exhaustion? What is it exactly for you? Which one can you relate with? While you're trying to write that, mental, thank you very much, Tamina. Thank you. Mental, oh wow. Emotional, mental. I see that. I see you guys coming up. Emotional, awesome. Prolonged stress. I need sleep. Oh, yes, you do, definitely, Mahin. You do. Mental. Okay, awesome. That's good. Now, for me, I would say that what I've experienced recently, because burnout is not something that happens once in a lifetime, okay? Burnout happens at a period in your life where it's like a cup that you empty out and then you start filling, okay? At some point, the cup begins to overflow, and then that tells you, that's the sign that you need to stop right there and just take a break, okay? So when burnout happens, it's a gradual process. Burnout is not something that happens, immediately. It just means you are burnt out. And just like the image accompanying this text, you can see how the fire keeps going. And at some point, the fire dies down. Every single one of us has a fire in us. Self-doubt. Okay, we'll come to that. Every single one of us has a fire in us. There's the reason you're working, the energy you use in working, the energy you use in talking to people. In fact, the energy you use in being here right now is very, very important. Okay. So the next slide is going to be something I want us to all respond to. Okay. I want us to respond to that. So this is a quick test. Now, the first question says, you can see the screen, so you can read it for yourself as well. Do you question the value of your work? That's one. So what you're going to do is, as we read these questions and you feel that you resonate with anyone, you can answer by saying, you can put like number one, and you can put yes or no. Oh yeah, okay, good. Do you question the value of your work? That's one. Do you drag yourself to work and have trouble getting started? Yes, number one. Oh, okay. That's number two says, do you drag yourself, okay, to work and have trouble getting started? Sometimes number two. Do you feel detached from work and the people you work with or live with? Sorry for the typo there. It was meant to be together. There's so many messages. I can't read all of them at once, but I'm sure that we'll get to those things. But I can see them as they come in, okay? I can see your messages. Number three, yes. Oh, awesome. Usually. Number four, which is here, it says number five, is, have you lost patience with your colleagues, customers, clients, friends, family? Do you lack energy? Number five, yes. Do you lack energy to do your job well? Okay, I see all the answers coming in. Okay, awesome. Oh, this is so beautiful. I'm in the right crowd. I'm definitely in the right crowd. We should be talking about burnout, okay? We should be talking about burnout. All right, so let's move over to the next slide. Now, this is a quick diagnosis, so let's just go over to the next slide, and then, we have shared our answers, so we're going to skip that slide, and then we're going to go over to, how do I know that I am burnt out? So we're talking about burnout. A lot of times when you hear burnout, you say burnout in the workplace. If you are a mom and you have a toddler or a little baby, trust me, you cannot tell me that you're not dealing with burnout. You are dealing with burnout, and it's a big deal, okay? And you need to talk about it. Burnout is natural. It's a, how do I put it? It's a sign that you need to stop. You need to check. You need to adjust. You need to recalibrate. You need to readjust. It is a sign. Burnout is not a sin. Burnout is not terrible. Burnout does not mean you're dying. You are very, very okay. All right. You are fine. You're doing great. Burnout just means that you need to check what's going on with you. And if you notice that whenever you feel burnt out, you're unable to do any of these things, just like the questions we've answered, you become very irritable. You blame other people for your failures and for things going wrong. You blame your boss, you blame your colleagues, you blame your kids, you blame your husband or your wife, you blame basically everybody. Sometimes verbally, sometimes you don't even say, but you do blame everybody else, right? Sometimes you're so tired, you're questioning yourself, like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, am I even in the right place? And sometimes you overlook the burnout and you say things like, oh, I can do this. I just need to keep going. I just need to keep going. No, it's okay to feel burnt out. You are not a tractor. You are not a machine. You are not a robot. Even robots get a break. Okay. So I want us to talk about how we know that we're burnt out. How do I know that I'm burnt out? How do I know that I need to take a break? Now, the first one is chronic fatigue and exhaustion. This is self-explanatory, okay? Chronic fatigue. Now, we didn't say fatigue. Chronic, meaning you're constantly tired. I don't know if it's ever happened to you before. You're just talking actively, and then for a split minute, or let's say a split second, you just close your eyes to think of something and you doze off. Even in a meeting, in the transportation, maybe the vehicle, or in any form of transportation or in a space, you just close your eyes for a bit just to think of something, and zoom, you're out. Okay? Let me see if I can. Oh, yeah. When I nag a lot in my head, I find ways to shut my brain down. Yes. Responsibilities are scariest thing when you're not, obviously. Yes. That's so true. That's so true, Mahin. So you're exhausted. You're exhausted from everything. That's one of the ways, you're just tired. it may not be that you've done anything physically. In fact, some mornings you wake up exhausted. You haven't started your day. You slept so you could be refreshed, but you wake up feeling very tired. Let's keep going. Loss of motivation and interest. This is very explanatory. You've lost interest. You're not motivated to do what you're doing, either work or business, any of that. Increased irritability and mood swings. That's how one of the ways, symptoms of burnout, okay? You now have reduced productivity and performance. This is a big deal. So whether you're a student or you're in the workplace or you have a business, you're just tired. Like you're just taking things easy. You're just, please, I don't want to do anything to myself. And then sometimes, you actually blame it on your personality. You see, so it's a coping mechanism. In mental health, we call that a coping mechanism. Your body or your mind finds a way for you to cope with the situation so that you're not overwhelmed. So anytime you're experiencing burnout or symptoms of burnout, your body and your brain actually begins to think up of ideas it can use to keep you safe, because your brain's goal is to keep you safe. If you never knew that, your brain's goal, the only goal your brain has, is to keep you alive and keep you safe. So whatever it needs to do that, it will do it, including overriding you. All right. So I'll give you an example of what your brain does to keep you safe. I don't know how many of us are exposed. I mean, we're all on the internet, so I'm pretty sure one way or the other, we're 33 here. One way or the other, you must have seen all these videos where someone's walking on the street, maybe with their girlfriend or with someone, and then some guy dressed in white, scary face jumps out of nowhere. And the next thing, you will see this guy or this girl on top of the roof of the house, or you will see them dive under the car. And then the next thing they're asking themselves is they can either not find a way to come down from the ceiling or from the roof. They also do not know how they got under the car and they can't seem to get out. So the question is, so what happened? How was that person able to get on top of the roof? On a regular day, that person would not climb that roof without a ladder. But they were able to get up the roof. Do you know why? At the point where the brain realized that they were facing fear, the brain overrode. It just did an override, an automatic override of you as a person, and decided to move your bodies in a way that gets you to safety. You see? So for so many of us, there are different ways it plays out. So when you're afraid or scared, there are three ways, right? Some people are fighters. So fighters in the sense that when they feel fear or challenged, they fight, right? So you see something that is scary, they don't run away, they just find something to pick and want to defend themselves. So some of you are fighters. Some people are flighters. Flighters are people who take flights when there's trouble, right? For you, your first response to danger or challenges is to run away. First of all, is to just get away from that scene. Okay, some of you are flighters, right? Now, for other people, for you to be able to get away, from danger, is you freeze. So everything in your body just stays still. Like you can't move, you can't do anything. You're seeing the danger, but you've just lost control of the ability to move. Sometimes it happens in your sleep. Sometimes it happens in different ways. Okay, so many of us. So find yourself. Are you a fighter? Are you a flighter? Are you a freezer? Okay, so let's keep going. Symptoms of burnout: poor sleep quality and insomnia. So as you read the symptoms, I want you to look at it, and I also want you to see if you can find any one of them that applies to you, okay? This is a learning curve. This is a learning mentorship team. This is a learning mentorship space. So we are going to be doing a lot of learning. You're going to self-diagnose and you're going to be able to help yourself. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm only here to expose what you need to do, and then you can make the decisions for yourself, okay? Poor sleep quality and insomnia. So you don't sleep well. Okay, let me read this. I like to engage with the comment. It's so hard to shut down my head when I want to sleep. Okay, so you need to work a way around that, because your brain cannot fully function and do the things it needs to do in your body if you don't find a way to shut down. The idea of going to bed at night is not so you can have a short eye quickly and get up again to continue the rest of the day. You must have the ability to let your body go into a deep sleep. Deep sleep allows your brain work in your body. Sometimes when you're dreaming dreams that are making you active, what's going on with you is that your brain has to now focus on keeping you safe in the dream. It has to now focus on that. And so it can't even do the other work you're doing. So you have to create ways that makes you relax before sleeping. What's your diet? What do you eat before you go to bed? What are you doing? Are you on your screen before you go to bed? Are you watching something? You need to regulate it. If you don't find a way to relax your body, one day your body is going to shut down and you're going to sleep back to back for 3 days. You won't even know what's going on with you. You just wake up, drink water, and the next thing you're going back to sleep. And you're like, why am I sleeping like I'm pregnant? Or why am I sleeping like something's wrong with me? It's because your body is trying to tell you to shut down, okay? Now, number 6, symptom. Physical symptoms like headaches. So if you recently noticed that you're having constant headaches, stomach problems, muscle tension, all of the, can deep sleep cause tardiness? Well, not exactly, but there's always a link between all of that, okay? I hope I get to mention that as we go on. Feelings of guilt, shame, and inadequacy. So as we hear and as I'm talking and sharing, I know it's a lot of talking and sharing, but I'm going to open up the line at some point so we can communicate. I want you to write down questions that are pressing in your heart as we talk. Any question that comes to your mind, whether it's related to this or not, but I'm sure it will be related to this, okay? Please make sure you note them down. Do not put them on the chat because it may be hard for us to go find it. So just put them down somewhere, and when it's time for questions, we respond to that. Yes, to muscle tension. I don't like gymming as well when I'm exhausted, mood swings, and getting irritated easily. Okay. I see that. So let's go on. More and more symptoms. Social withdrawal. Okay, I think I missed one. Feelings of guilt, shame, and inadequacy. Yes. You feel like you're not doing enough. You feel like you're not working enough. You feel like you're not good enough. Okay. Social withdrawal and isolation. You are feeling isolated. You just want to stay away. Oh, you're like, oh, let's, Samrin, let's go out and have lunch. And you're like, oh, I don't think I want to go. I think I'll be by myself. Excuse me, you've been by yourself all day. Take yourself out. But the reason you can't do that is because you are dealing with burnout. You're just tired. You don't even know what's making you tired, and so you want to rest, okay? Loss of creativity and inspiration. For those of us in the creative space like I am, creativity and inspiration is what rules our life. We need to think all the time. I'm in front of the camera. I need to talk. I need to feel this way. I need to write that. And for me, I enjoy painting and drawing. I haven't done that in a while because I have been dealing with series of burnouts. Okay, so I decided to take a break and just put my life in order. Right. So that can also happen. Increased absenteeism and tardiness. Sleep paralysis, stomach problems. Oh, I see that. Awesome. Okay. I'm glad that we're all on the same page. Let's go on to the next slide. Causes of burnout. That's where we are now. Causes of burnout. So what causes burnout? Why, what happens to me? Now we know the symptoms. Now let's know the causes. What makes it happen? What did I do to become burnt out? I thought I was taking life easy. So where's this burnout coming from? Okay, why am I not able to achieve my goals? What is the reason I'm doing that? So we're on the next slide, causes of burnout. Workload and long working hours. Excessive workload and long working hours. Okay? That's one of the causes. You are doing too much. You are spending your whole day at work. And even if you're working as a remote employee, when I do unwanted things. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can read that. Please, can we move the slides to causes of burnout? It should be the next slide. I see that it's still on the other one. I'm trying to get access to the chat. Okay. Please, can you hear me? Am I very clear? Because can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Please, if you can hear me, just say that.
Yes, Miss.
Oh, yes. Oh, awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you. Awesome. Good. So causes of burnout: Excessive workload and long working hours. Why are you working so long? I know you need to pay bills. I know you need to, make that money. I know you have responsibilities. But hey, I want to ask you a question. What do you think will happen to you if you were to lose your life today? What will happen to all those responsibilities? It's going to be done by someone else. If something, I want to know about sleep paralysis. Okay, please just note that down. It's not part of what we're discussing today, but yes, we'll talk about that. So that thing you're putting all your heart on, that thing you're putting all your hope on and saying, this is what I want to do. I want to do this. I want to do. If you were to die today, none of us will die, but it's inevitable, okay? If something were to happen to you today because of excessive burnout that wasn't detected as some health issues and something, the world will go on. The work will be done by somebody else. Your office will employ somebody else. Your employer will get some other employee. You are not the last hope of that company or your family or your friends or whatever it is, okay? You must regulate the time that you work. You must be able to spend some time for yourself. You are not a machine. You are built to live. You are not built to work. Work is just a part of living. You can't make that 80% of your life. A lot of us have taken work as 90, 80%, 90%, 95% of our lives and say, oh, we must work because we must survive. No, living life is bigger than working. What you should be thinking about is, what impact am I making? What value am I adding? And am I being rewarded for the value that I'm adding? Am I adding value to the right people? That's how you live. You don't live by excessively working long hours and not getting enough sleep. However, your body needs at least 8 hours of sleep. 6 to 8 hours of sleep is what your body needs to function properly. So I want every one of us to examine ourselves right now. When last did you give yourself at least 6 hours or even 8 hours of sleep? When last did you do that? I'm not going to be surprised at the options that will come up, because a lot of us don't want to seem like we're not working enough. How can you be sleeping for 8 hours? Sleep is for the weak. Oh no, sleep is not for the weak. Sleep is for the strong. Okay, so what other thing causes burnout? Lack of control and autonomy. So you have a boss or you work for someone who doesn't have boundaries for time, and they tell you, oh, just work, especially for those of you that work from home. So they just say, oh, just please, could you do this document for me? And then you're not done with that one, and do this one for me if you're not done with that one. Oh, last winter's on vacation. Oh, mine. Okay. Oh, thank God. At least you got to vacation, so you got to sleep, right? So that's cool. Lack of control and autonomy. So you can't control your work. You must be able to control what you give. Whatever it is that takes a lot of your time, you must control it. You must have the ability to. And if you're with a work or an employer, or maybe even the business that you do, and you can't seem to create time for yourself, you must revisit the work. You must recreate the system of that work or whatever it is you're doing to give yourself some time. You must be able to take a break. Okay? Poor work-life balance, another cause of this is very true. When last did you go out? When last did you go and have fun? When last did you go and visit a family member? When last did you just take yourself out? Take a cup of coffee, maybe take a soda drink, take ice cream, eat something. When last did you take yourself out? When last did you just go to swim? When last did you just take a walk to the beach? When last did you just take yourself out? I've stopped doing what I love long ago. Oh, wow. Wow, that's not good. That's not good. I'm going to show you what prolonged cases of burnout can do to you. Okay? I can't remember. So you need to revisit that, because there has to be a work-life balance. And I'm going to talk a lot more about work-life. People say that work-life balance is a myth, and I'm going to debunk that. Or maybe I should do that now. What it means is that there is nothing like work and there's life. Actually, work is a part of life. I just said that. Work is a part of life. I did go out after a very long time, but I felt guilty. Yes, I know that feeling, like you felt like you were wasting your time. So work-life balance is a thing. It is a thing. And it doesn't mean that you must have work and have life. Life has work inside of it, okay? They are one. So when you're living, you're working. So you're supposed to be able supposed to be able to balance both of them, not that you separate them. Okay, you don't separate work and life. You balance it up. You balance it up. As you're working, you must do something that allows you spend some time, because your ability to stay mentally stable is what gives you the work, that gives you the energy to keep doing the work you're doing and be productive at it. Some of you have been stuck in one particular place in your workplace. Why? You are not giving anything. You're not giving anything new. You're just in your comfort zone. You're not doing anything better. You're unable to read or improve yourself. No professional development. You're just stuck in one place. And you are tired of being stuck in one place. Yet you can't seem to find. It's possible because you're not enjoying yourself. Okay? Let's keep going. I'm getting too passionate. So let's keep going. Unclear expectations and conflicting. I feel like hiding from everyone. Oh, Kiran, wow. We need to talk about that. Unclear expectations and conflicting priorities. So this is another cause of burnout. You don't know what to expect. You're just going in any direction. They just said, you know what? The goal is to make money. So here we go. Forward ever, backward never. You keep going and keep going. And you just keep going. Okay? And that is a problem because you don't have a goal. Imagine a car, you just wake up one day and they ask you, oh, Kiran, where are you going? And you're like, oh, I'm just driving. Driving to where? Like, I don't know, just anywhere. You will run out of fuel, right? And you are going to be stuck. Imagine driving into a path where cars pass like every 1 hour, maybe like 3 cars every 1 hour. You will be stuck. So you must have clear expectations. If you don't, it causes burnout. Conflicting priorities. I want to be here. I want to be there. At the same time, I want to do this. I want to do this. You need to have a clear list of priority. I know a lot of things are important to you, but you must have a list of what you're doing now, what you're not doing now, okay? The world is big. Life is big. There's time to do a lot of things. You must make that clear. I'm going to run quickly from here. Another cause of burnout is unsupportive work environment and colleagues or even community. Yes, this is a big deal. You don't have a supportive work environment. You have a toxic environment. You will not do well. Okay. You don't have family members or friends that are supporting you. You are alone. Some of you who like to say, I like my space. I like my space. I just want to be by myself. That may be a sign of a trauma. It may not necessarily be that that's your personality, okay? It could be a sign of trauma. Let me see what mine said here. You need to find out your own peace, find ways to work yourself honestly and make things work relating to you so that you can make real steps for the future. Yes. True that. Okay, true that. So let's get back to it. Perfectionism and high expectations. I like talking about this one. One of the ways you can easily get burnout, one of the causes of burnout is you are too perfect. You have high expectations. So you see, there are people with unclear expectations and we have people with high expectations. So I don't want you to be any of the extremes. I want you to be in the middle. Expectations, okay? Not unclear, not high. Like you're expecting so much. Oh, I am a super. So that brings me to what I said earlier when we were starting. I said that that I wasn't sure if all the things Maya was saying about me was true. That's because I have high expectations of myself. And the funny thing is that you never see yourself in that place, even when you get there. That's a problem. You can't be perfect. You can only be you. And you is unique. So you can't allow anything come into your space. You must find ways to defeat those things. You must find ways to say, hey, let me just have expectations of myself and not high expectations. I don't want to be perfect. The reason you're trying to be perfect is because you have a backlog of experiences that have taught you that being perfect is who people love. And there's no perfect person, including the person who wants you to be perfect is not. Okay? Trauma and chronic stress. Yes, this is another reason for burnout. Trauma could be it. If we go into trauma, we would not finish today. Okay, so let's keep going. Your head is in your control. Your head is in. Okay. Lack of self-care and relaxation. So that's the final one on causes of burnout. Do you take care of yourself? Do you relax? When last did you go out? I'm asking again. When last did you take care of yourself? When last did you go do that pedicure and manicure? When last did you go change your braids or your hair or do something? When last did you just go out just you sake, not because you're going to get something for someone. Just sitting down, crossing your leg, not being in a hurry, just taking out time. When last did you go get a massage? When last? When last did you do something for you? When last did you go try a new haircut? Last did you go do something interesting for yourself? Okay, that's important. So let's move on to the next slide. These are the causes of burnout. Now, the effects of burnout. How does it affect you? I'm going to run through. First of all, one of the effects is chronic fatigue and exhaustion. We already said that. Insomnia and sleep, digestive problems and stomach issues, headaches and migraines. We move on to immune system, being down. We have increased risk of chronic diseases. Okay, please, can we move on to the next slide? There's another one. Yes. So weakened immune system is there. That's another effect. So your immune system becomes weak. So if you notice that you've been falling sick a lot, this is probably where you're at. Okay. If you've been falling sick a whole lot, this is probably where you're at. This is the reason for what's going on with you. All right. This is the reason for what's going on with you. You may be dealing with burnouts. Okay. Increased risk of chronic diseases. Diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, these are the effects. So if burnout is not treated, this is the effect. Depression and anxiety disorders, yes, you can quickly become depressed if you don't treat burnout. Oh yes, quickly. And always being anxious, like you're doing something and you're just up. You don't know, you don't know how to, and this looks like an important thing I need to read. Let me quickly go there. I can see something about how to love yourself. I never found this answer. Oh, you will find it here, there. I'm going to mention that. Please make sure you remind me, okay? I'm going to tell you how to love yourself. Now, another effect is mood swings and irritability, okay? Mood swings and irritability. The effect is that you will be having mood swings, crazy mood swings, and you're always irritated at everything. Everything irritates you. Everything just irritates you, okay? Loss of motivation. That's another one, okay? Loss of motivation. So let's move on to the next one. Now, more effects. Oh, this is interesting. Yes, Mayin, one step at a time. Be kind to yourself. Yes, that's how you start, by loving yourself. Productivity and performance. Reduce productivity and performance. That's one of the effects. Strained relationship and social isolation. Increased absenteeism and tardiness. Decreased creativity and inspiration, feelings of hopelessness and despair. All right, next slide. Okay, so this next slide says follow me on all my different pages. Well, I will still put this on the page. So let's move to the next slide. Okay, I'll still share this on the group so everyone has access to it and every other resources I have. Yeah, thank you. What happens if burnout is not addressed? Okay, who likes this guy on my screen? I really like the picture though. I like the fact that he has, he has that on his back. I really like the picture. Okay, so let's move on from the fine picture to something else. When burnout is not addressed, what happens? So guys, I see everyone in the comment section and I want to say well done. I do hope that you're taking notes, okay? The idea of this mentorship programs is not for you to just listen to me, admire my looks, the way I speak. It's also for you to note, pick what belongs to you. Everything I'm sharing doesn't belong to you. Some people fall into one category more than the other, all right? So find which one is yours, pick that one and note it down and start to think of how you can solve it. And thankfully, I'm here. So we will deal with the issues, okay? So if burnout is not treated, you will have nervous breakdowns, okay? I've had 2 nervous breakdowns this year. I just started crying uncontrollably. Another time, it was so bad. I mean, my family were so worried, and it was a big deal because I was so overwhelmed. I didn't know how burnt out I was. And I had to take a break, a compulsory break from everything else. It didn't matter if the world would stop. I had to take that break. So nervous breakdowns are very, very bad. I don't know if anyone has experienced them before. Sometimes it happens in the middle of the road. Sometimes you just start screaming. Sometimes you're crying uncontrollably and you can't seem to tell anybody why. And everybody's wondering, are you crazy? Okay. Mental health crisis. Yes, you can develop a whole lot. Oh, I'm suffering from chronic pain in my body. Oh, wow. So we need to work on that. That's important to work on. You must give yourself a break, okay? More things that can happen to you. Okay, let me see what mine is saying here. I took that break 4 years back. It was not good, bring me back to real grounds. Okay. Cardiovascular diseases, another thing that happens if you don't treat burnout. Chronic pain, yes, like Fatima just said, and then you have those gastrointestinal issues, okay, like IBS. IBS is in I think it's irritable bowel syndrome. That's what it's called. Acid reflux, hormonal imbalance. So the reason why you're probably not seeing your periods off and on is because you're very, 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 very stressed. You're burnt out, okay? Skin problems, acne, eczema. Oh yes, if you guys look at my face, I know you may not really see it, but I never used to have like acne on my face at all. I was a fresh girl, okay? I don't know what happened. I woke up one morning and realized that I had a lot of acne on my face, right? I know you can't see it, but I have a lot of acne on my face. And that's because I am in a stressful season of my life. I've been mentally stressing myself a lot and I need to take a break. So this topic is not just for you. It's also for me. I'm listening to myself as I'm sharing, okay? Hair loss and other physical symptoms. Let's go to the next slide. Now, how do we prevent burnout? Are we enjoying this? I'm facing hair loss and physical symptoms. Oh, wow. I'm glad that as we share these things, we're talking about them. It makes me happy. But are we here? Are we enjoying this conversation? Should I take a break? Should we stop here? Should we just, maybe we've had enough for today? Or do we go on? I'm waiting for your responses. Oh, please. Oh, continue. Yay. Okay. Awesome. I'm glad 2 people is enough for me. Awesome. Thank you so much, Cynthia. I see you guys. All right. How do we prevent burnout? Set realistic goals and priorities. This is so clear. Don't set goals that your parents want you to set or your families want you to set. I'm sorry to say this, but if your spouse has placed so much expectation on you, whether you're a lady or a man, if your spouse is placing so much expectation on you, your spouse may not really love you like you think. You must be able to work together as a team. If your school or the people around you are placing so much, you must set realistic goals and priorities. You can't go from 0 to 100. You must go from 0 to 1 to 2 and keep going until you hit 100, okay? You can't go from 0 to 100. You will fail. And if you fail, you will feel bad and you'll feel depressed. So set realistic goals and priorities. Maintain a healthy work-life balance. Create a day in a week. Create a day in a week. Find one day in a week, right, that you can just say, this day is for me. This day is for Tessy. This day is for Hira. This day is for Javeria. This day is for me. Oh, he's listening. Oh, that's I say my teacher expects too much and I don't like that stress. I don't. Oh, this is so good. Yeah, there's a balance for kids. It's a bit different, but it's also the same, right? It's also the same. It's also the same thing. You must find a balance to it. You must find a balance to it. That work life is important. Find time. Pick a day in a week. Do something for you. Do something for you. Remember, I want you to remember this. I like to, in Nigeria, when we're trying to pass a message across to people, we pull our ears like this. I don't know if they do it in Pakistan, Malawi, or any other place, right? They pull our ear like this and say, hear what I am saying. This is when they're trying to pass the message across. So if you can pull your ears, I know it's silly, but please pull your ears, okay? Pull your ears and say, hey, call your name. Tessy, learn to take a break. Learn to have fun. Learn to do things for you and not others. If I go today, somebody else will take over what I'm doing. So I must prioritize my self-care. Okay? So if you've pulled your ear, did you pull your ear? You can see me pulling my ear. My ears are not so big, so you can't really see them. Okay, let's go on. Thank you for pulling your ears for those who did and those who laughed while trying to attempt it. Take regular breaks and practice self-care. That's what I just mentioned. Take regular breaks. learn to put a break. If you're working from home, one of the dangers is that you don't know when the time passes. And your body also learns from you, okay? If you don't exercise your body, you weaken some organs in your body, and you're unable to function properly. Okay, so you give your brain more work trying to fix the organs that are not working well, instead of the brain focusing on getting you to do the right things. All right. So you must learn to take regular breaks. They are very, very important. Time yourself. Tell yourself, if I'm working from home, I'm going to sit down for 4 or 5 hours and I'm going to do this. After 4 or 5 hours, I'm going to get up. Or after 2 hours, I'm going to stretch. After 3 hours, I'm going to do this. Okay. You must take breaks and practice self-care. Self-care is so important. Learn to say no. Oh, this is my favorite one. I love this one. Learn to say no. Set boundaries. You must not be a people pleaser. I know that people pleasing comes with some form of trauma, past experiences, or even some mental health issues, okay? There are people who have low self-esteem, and so they struggle a lot to say no to people because of acceptance. They are looking for acceptance from people. I mean, how will people accept you if you always say no? So the default in their mind says, hey, for you to be accepted, you must, you must. Let me say this. I opened a pizza house. I hope I'm able to manage my homework. I like pizza and thinking about ways to run pizza. Oh, okay. Nice. I like the sound of that. So you must learn to say no. Sometimes even at work, yes, let me tell you that. Even at work, sometimes your boss or someone says, oh, I want you to do this thing or that thing. You can actually politely say, oh, hi, hello, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, I know that you need me to do this, but is it okay if I do this at a much later time? Because at the moment, I don't think I have the capacity. There's a polite way of saying no. Yes, you would say, see, if you say no to someone and they suddenly get angry because you said no, you are in a toxic relationship, whatever kind of relation, whether it's a work relationship, right? You can't be in a relationship with someone who doesn't prioritize you. If you can't do something, even my friends that are close to me, I'm learning, because I used to be a people pleaser. So this is an experience I've had. I didn't used to know how to say no to people because I wanted to please everybody. I wanted to be in everybody's good books. I wanted to be the good guy. I wanted to be that person. And guess what? Over time, anytime there was something to be done, people would naturally say, go and meet Tessy. You know why they say that? It makes me happy. You're like, guess what you tell yourself? I am reliable. Yeah, I'm reliable. You just say yourself, I'm reliable, because it's fun. It's fun when you're always the guy they call. Like, if Tessy is not in this thing, it's going to fail. It sounds good, but it's bad because you're suffering. Because there are days and times where you do not want to do that work, but you are forced to do it because you want to keep a reputation of being reliable. How about being reliable and also having love for yourself, respect for yourself, and put a boundary? Because if you don't put a boundary, everybody will ask you to do everything. You will buy food for your colleagues. You will drive everybody out. You would do, if someone's great, please, can you drive me? Because they know you won't say no. They will ask you to do the silliest things because they know you won't say no. And so that means that they are taking advantage of you, and that's not a very good relationship. That will ruin your self-esteem, and instead of making it better. You must learn to say no. You must learn to say no. Saying no, it is so important for you as a person. Oh, my whole family left their work and sitting with me. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. This means a lot to me. There's also a way you will say no, and people will understand that you love yourself. You must learn to do that. I know we're spending a lot of time here, but this is a problem a lot of us are dealing with. We can't say no because we're trying to please that one boss. It's okay to be in the good books of your boss, but if your boss sees that you are easy to sway, they're going to use you. That's why they can tell you things like, oh, we want you to fill in the gap of somebody who has just left the company and we're looking at promoting you. You have filled that gap for 3 years. Have they promoted you? Do you know why? Because you're not good for the role. You are too easy. You're everywhere. You must learn to say no. You must know your worth before you learn to say no. You must know your worth. Okay, let's move on. Stay organized and manage your time effectively. This is so straightforward. Stay organized and manage your time effectively. Organize yourself. I struggle with creating to-do lists. Yes, I struggle with it. And I think I kind of I for a while, I don't know if it happens to me now. I'm yet to check again because I also go for therapy, okay? And I actually noticed that I had mild ADHD. So ADHD is attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder. So where I wake up, because I have so many things to do, right? I wake up with a plan and I write this plan down and I say, this is what I'm going to do. The moment I step out of my bedroom and I'm sorting the kids' food, and I remember that there's one plate, one bowl in the kitchen somewhere that I need to sort out, I go and check that bowl. From that bowl, remember I had a list though. That bowl was not part of the list. By the time I finish finding that bowl, I will now notice that, wait, oh, there are other bowls like this that have not been arranged. Why have they been sitting here for months? It's not part of the list. I carry the bowls 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then I move to something else. And then I move to something else. A whole 24 hours after or 12 hours after, I now realize, oh my God, I had a list of things I wanted to do today. And I have probably done only 2 out of a list of 10. And I also now realize that part of the reasons I do that is because I do not make realistic goals. I plan my day to be serious because I want to be seen as a devoted person. I want to be seen as a reliable mentor. I cannot be, I must be a mental health counselor with, undivided attention and dedication. So I plan my goals to be so serious. I don't put in time for resting. I don't put in fun things. I love to play games, mobile games, by the way. So I don't put in time for any of that. And so I end up going back to what I naturally want to do. So I had to now become realistic with my goals. See, set your goals. When you're setting your goal in the morning, right? If you like to play game and it helps you start your day, write it there. Play game for 30 minutes. Take a shower for 20 minutes. If you want to spend that long in the shower, I don't know what you'll be doing, but if that's your goal, that's fine. Read a book for 1 hour. Just make sure that your day involves basic things. Don't make your to-do list a crazy list, okay? Make it a list that is realistic. Seek support from colleagues and friends and family. That's so important. If you are tired, ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. You are not Superman. Neither are you Spider-Man. You are not Supergirl. You are none of those people. Ask for help. Seek support. I can't do this today. I can't. Ask for help. Ask for help. It is so important to ask for help. Okay, someone said something here. My friend has some of the symptoms that were introduced before. Now that I think of it, I think it may be because of academic stress. After all, national colleges, but she's stressing herself so much that okay, yeah. I'm glad that you're diagnosing that. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Now, more ways to deal with burnout. Okay, we're moving to the next slide. More ways to deal with burnout. Burnout, how to prevent it, more like, right? How to prevent it. That's what we're talking, preventive measures now. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. Number 7 says, practice mindfulness and stress reducing techniques. Practice mindfulness and stress reducing techniques like meditation or yoga. See, this is self-care. That's what we're talking about. Okay, this is self-care. All right, can we move the slide to the next one so that we can all see what I'm sharing? Awesome, thank you. So practice mindfulness and stress reducing techniques. Practice mindfulness and stress reducing techniques. Like, I can't overemphasize this. Learn to take a nap. Learn to relax. There are a lot of mindfulness techniques. I'm sure we're on a WhatsApp group, which means that I can share some documents and some resources with you to help, okay? So I will do that, okay? Right, I will do that. Now, you must learn to relax. Meditation is good for you. Meditating just means you're able to put your body in a state of calmness before your day starts, or in the middle of your day when everything is going crazy and you can't seem to have control. You find a space, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time you can spare, and just relax yourself, okay? And be able to put yourself in that space for a while. Just some mindfulness, some calmness. Okay, it's important. Number 8, get enough sleep and maintain a healthy diet. This sleep, you see, it's popping up again. You must get enough sleep. There's something called enough sleep. Enough sleep is, doctors have said, researchers have said, people who have researched a lot about sleep and how the body works have said 6 to 8 hours is what a human being needs daily to be able to function properly. Try to get some 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Eat good food. Healthy diet does not mean all carbs, all vegetables or all fruits. No, that's not a healthy diet. You can eat what you like, but you can eat them in portions and in the right manner so that you're able to get the nutrients that you need to get your day. For example, I learned recently that starting my day with sugar is bad for me, because by the time I start with so much energy, before it's 12 o'clock, I'm already feeling tired because I started my day with a boost, right? But I can start with sugar that isn't so serious. It could be maxed in other vegetables and other things just to give me a happy meal. I must have breakfast. I know a lot of people are not breakfast people, but I'm a breakfast girl. I must have breakfast. Breakfast helps me start my day good. So find out what works for you. Talk to your doctor, talk to someone, talk to a nutritionist, something that works for you, but don't do a routine, a diet that you can't keep up. Don't follow anybody and do any diet. Find out what works for you and follow that pattern, okay? There's nothing wrong with being a big girl. There's nothing wrong with being a slim girl. Just do it for you, not because of the world, all right? Number 9, engage in activities that bring joy and relaxation. I said that I love playing games and I love listening to music, okay? Before I came on the session, I was listening to music while I was waiting to join and everything. I do that because I like to be in a great mood. I like to be in a fantastic mood when I'm here. And so I engage in things that bring joy and relaxation. So do things you love. If you like painting, even if your painting is rubbish, paint. I tell my kids this thing: there is no wrong art or good art. Art is art. Whatever it is you find doing, it is good for you. Do it. It makes you happy. Do it. Take time off and plan vacations. Plan vacations. Plan vacations. I'm telling myself this one because I've been trying to do that, but I'm telling myself to plan vacations. It doesn't have to, it could even be a staycation. It could just be you go to a hotel room just by yourself, eat by yourself, you're not cooking. Moms, if you're a mom here, find time to stay away from your children for a bit, just a bit, even if it's one night, okay? Have someone take care of them. Stay away from them for a bit so you can have your sanity, okay? And wherever you are, whether you're not a mom, you're a man, whatever it is, find time to plan vacations, okay? Seek professional help if needed, therapy and counseling. That's what I'm here for, okay? Seek professional help. There are so many mental health counselors all over the world, in your space, outside your space. Go and ask for help. Even if it's 1, 2, 3 sessions you can afford, do it, because it would benefit you. It would benefit. There are some things that I've seen a lot of messages, being shared here, and I realized that there are a lot of things that need personal conversations. I can't do them here because they are peculiar to that person, okay? How are we doing? I stopped seeing the comment section pop up. You guys are listening and writing. Okay, so next slide. Next slide. And this is the last part of how to prevent, okay? So stay connected with loved ones and build strong relationships. Like this community that and WomenAscension is creating. You must stay connected to people and build strong relationships. I am so excited to be here. One of my superpowers. I have superpowers, yes, I do. You want to know what it is? My superpower is meeting people and getting acquainted with them. I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy especially people who are outside my regular community from other countries. I'm in Nigeria. I'm so glad I can see so many people from different countries, from Afghanistan, from Pakistan, from Malawi, from Cameroon. There's so many people here, and it just excites me because I know that I'm able to interact with their culture and what they do there. And so that's one of the things that helps me. Okay, I stay connected. Yay! Thank you. Thank you, Janet, for saying that. So build those connections and build strong relationships. Don't be fickle with your relationships. Don't go into a relationship for what you can get. Go into a relationship for what you can give. Go into a relationship knowing and telling yourself that you have something to offer this person that they can't offer themselves, okay? Go into the relationship. Go into that relationship with it, all right? Now, prioritize tasks and focus on high impact activities, okay? So that's so important. High impact activities are activities that allow you make a lot of impact, just as the name says, okay? Activities tasks that allow you feel like you've achieved something, you know? That's what you need. That's what you need to do, okay? Avoid perfectionism and embrace imperfection. Oh, this is so good. Embrace imperfection. I get tired after 4 hours of sitting on the screen. I embrace it. That is me. And there's nothing I'm going to do about it. And it's fine. If you like doing 6 hours, that's you, not me. Okay? I enjoy, find you and just be okay. Somebody says, you can't walk without chewing biscuits, and tell them, oh, I'm sorry, but I like to chew biscuits when I'm working. If you don't like it, then you can switch desks or just avoid looking at me when I'm eating the biscuits. Okay. Find what works for you. Find what works for you. Don't just embrace that imperfection. Okay. Right. Oh, me too. Nice. Stay flexible and adapt to change. All right. That's it. Stay flexible and adapt to change. So let's go to the next slide. I am burnt out. What do I do? And this is, we're getting towards the end of the session. I hope this has been great. Sorry, I don't even know how many hours this is. Mahin, you need to put a taper on me. If not, I am going to talk for the whole day, but I'm using my slides, so I'm good, okay? So if you need me to round up, just let me know. I enjoy talking, so this is my zone. So let's go to the next slide. I am burnt out. Oh, we're good. Awesome. What do I do? Right. That's it. I'm burnt out. What do I? So now that you have listened to me talk in the last 40 to 50 minutes, you're saying to yourself, I finally realized that I'm burnt out. So what do I do about it? I can't prevent it. But now that I know that I have it, I couldn't prevent it, but I know how to prevent it now. But I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I can't make any good, I can't move. So what do I do? The first thing you want to do now that you've realized that you're burnt out is you recognize and acknowledge that you're burnt out. Okay? Recognize and acknowledge that you're burnt out. I'm sure the screen will be changed now. I'm pretty sure that it'll be moved to the next slide now. Just hang in there for a bit. Yeah, I told you so. Right. What should I do if I'm correct? That's why we're here. We're talking about it now. So now that I'm burnt out, what do I do? Recognize, you know what? Right now, everyone, wherever you are, I can't see you, okay? I can't see you, but you can see me, and you can see my fine platinum blonde hair, okay? But I want you to do something for me. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to just take a deep breath in, every single person. I'm not looking at my screen right now. My eyes are closed. If you're looking at me, you can tell I'm closing my eyes. So I'm not going to see. If I see you typing, it means you're not closing your eyes, okay? So right now, I want you to close your eyes and just experience a little quiet where you are. Even if there are people talking around, I want you to just take a very deep breath in through your nostril. Hold it in for like 4 seconds. Let it out through your mouth slowly. Slowly. So we're going to do that again. A deep breath through your nostril. Just take a deep breath. Hold it in for 4 seconds. Let it out for another 4 seconds. If you're doing this right, you're going to feel so good. You're going to feel the tension releasing. You're going to feel just some sort of calm. This is something I want you to learn to do, okay? And as you do that, while you're still in that position and just listening to me right now, I want you to say, I am burnt out. And it's okay. I am burnt out and I know this. I am burnt out and I need help. I am burnt out and it's fine. I am burnt out and I am going to get some help. Okay. I want you to repeat those words to yourself. I was almost about to enter into a zone. Just relax. Okay. Learn to do this to yourself. Take breathing exercises to help keep you centered. Recognize and acknowledge that you're burnt out, okay? It's so important. Thank you for trying that activity with me. If you did, please just put in the comment section, yes, I did, yes, I did, yes, I did. and if you can tell me how you felt just for the brief second we did it. We'll have sessions where I'm looking forward to, oh, thank you, Matab. I'm looking forward to sessions with Women Ascension where we can actually have proper breathing exercises, meditation and stuff like that. Okay.